So Facebook, or now Meta as they're called, have released a new ads feature that I am not happy about at all. I think this new feature is 100% self-serving for Meta as a company. It does not help the vast majority of advertisers. In this video, I'm going to show you what this is, what this new feature most likely means for your results going forward, and how you can turn this off to some extent, which you can do. So I'm talking about Multi Advertiser Ads. Now, this only applies to Instagram, and in front of me, I've got the help document up from Meta about what this is and what it means, because we have very limited information at the moment. But just to quickly read some of the information that they're giving us around this new feature. Multi-advertiser ads in Instagram feed allow businesses to be discovered by people who have set commercial intent by engaging with relevant business content and are in a shopping mindset. They then give some more information. I'm just gonna pick out the highlights here. Enabling the multi-advertiser format makes your ad eligible to appear alongside ads from multiple advertisers, including in some instances ads from related or complementary businesses, okay? They also say, to explain how this is going to work from a user experience standpoint, when a person taps on an ad CTA in the multi advertiser, so that's the actual button that's included in an ad, they are taken to the destination determined by the advertiser, so most likely your website. When a person taps the image or see all, they are taken to a feed with ads. So just let that sink in a little bit and start to think about what the ramifications of this might be for your business or for Instagram advertisers, okay? They then give instructions on how to set this up. And if we scroll down, we can see an example, which is tiny, but I'm gonna zoom in so we can take a look at this and then talk through what this means. So I've zoomed in, this image is still pretty small and a bit useless, but I'll also include a link to this document so you can go directly through and take a look at it. But we can see here, we can get an idea of what we're talking about here. So we've got this ad on Instagram, looks pretty typical, the sort of thing that we expect. And if we scroll down, we can see that we've got these other ads from other advertisers. We've got images, we've got call to action buttons, we've got the see all that they're talking about here. And this is going to be displayed beneath this regular ad. Now, the idea is that these ads are supposed to be complementary. I don't see how this bag is complementary to this food. Can't quite see what's being advertised in that image, so you can't really say whether that's linked, but even in their example, they don't seem complementary, which is weird, but that's what it's supposed to be. So why are Meta doing this?
Why?
Well, the obvious answer to me is, with this format, they are able to get a lot more ad impressions for the same amount of, or similar, this takes up a bit more space, but not much, similar space within the Instagram feed. So let's say the average Instagram user goes on Instagram and they're on the app for 3 or 4 minutes. And within that time, on average, let's say, I don't know the actual numbers here, but let's say that Meta is able to serve 15 different ads in those 3 or 4 minutes. Well, with this format, they might be able to serve 3 times as many ads within the same time period, the same amount of time that a user has spent on the app, because you've not only got your main ad as you also would, but you've also got a whole bunch of other ads underneath it. Now, that means that when advertisers go into their ad account and they can see that their CPMs have come down loads because they're still spending a similar amount, but they've got a lot more impressions. And that might seem great, but obviously these impressions are going to be lower quality because your ad is alongside a lot of other ads. If you think about, how much you used to have to pay for like a newspaper full page ad versus in with lots of others, you pay a lot more for the full page because that's a lot more valuable space to take up, not have the distraction of all the other ads, etc., etc. Now, I'm also very concerned about how accurately Meta is going to be able to work out which products are complementary to other products. So here we've got a bag. Now, could they work out that other types of bags are complementary? Like maybe you've got like a small little clutch bag, or you've got like a suitcase being advertised down here in this section. How do we know that this company doesn't also sell those products? Like lots of companies will sell products that are complementary. Would you want your ad for, say, your shoes to be alongside someone else's ad for belts when you also sell belts? You'd be like, hang on, why are you advertising my shoes alongside my competitors' belts when I also sell belts? I want people to click through, come to my website, buy my shoes, buy my belts. This is what I offer. That's a real concern. I feel like in a lot of cases, trying to put ads together that are complementary, we are going to see ads from competitors directly alongside our ads. Not something any advertiser wants. And also we know that a lot of stuff that's automated, like targeting, is not perfect. There are people that sneak into interests that shouldn't be in there. So are we just gonna see accidents where your product is being advertised directly next to some of your competitors' products that are almost identical, maybe even in different price points, which is gonna be a real issue. It's really gonna encourage a race to the bottom in terms of price point. And that's not good for advertisers. Obviously, you don't want users to be able to say, oh, we can get something that looks quite similar, even if it actually might be inferior quality, looks quite similar. Let's go ahead and go with that one because it's cheaper. These sorts of things happen, right? And Instagram is encouraging this to happen. Now, if we go back to the document itself, so Meta have also included this note where they sort of try and give a reason as to why they've introduced this new ad format. So they're saying, we conducted a large-scale back-end study measuring incremental effects for nearly 400k global advertisers across multiple verticals in Q3 2022. Results showed that adding multi-advertiser contextual ads to existing Instagram feed ad campaigns outperformed running campaigns for purchase outcome in the overall Meta ads ecosystem without multi-advertiser ad. These results are statistically significant, 90%, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so they're basically saying that with this multi-advertiser format, results are better. But for who? Like, I completely would expect that this ad format up here is more likely to generate a purchase. Per impression, per 1,000 impressions, it's more likely to generate a purchase because there's more options and people might want to check out other options and different price points and different products and things like that. But is it better for those advertisers? For example, is this company here advertising their bag more or less likely to generate the sale? I would say they're almost certainly less likely to generate a sale. There's more likely to be a sale take place between this advertiser and this advertiser and this advertiser and however many more there are within this scroll. But it's less likely for each individual advertiser for you to get the sale. So what we're likely to see is that per 1,000 impressions, conversion rates, purchase rates, lead rates, etc., go way down because there's way more choice. And so I think from reading between the lines, as you have to do with this information, I think this is really quite misleading. As I said, I think it's self-serving. I think it allows them to tell advertisers that they're getting way more impressions now. Doesn't that look great? Is it going to translate into more purchases? Maybe there's more purchases overall within the ecosystem. Are there more purchases for each individual advertiser? I very much doubt that will be the case. Okay, so you can turn off this feature to some extent. There's a bit of nuance around that. I'm going to explain that in a minute. Before I do, just want to quickly mention our Facebook and Instagram advertising services. So we can create, manage, and optimize campaigns for you. We can help you get better results and take the workload off your hands. We do have a 3K per month minimum budget requirement, but if you meet that, you can go ahead and click on the link in the video description below. That'll take you through to a page on our website. You can go ahead and book in a free call with one of my team members, find out more information, see how we might be able to help. And hopefully we get a chance to work together and we can stay on top of all this stuff for you because there's lots of things changing. A lot of them you really want to dodge, like this one, because they're not great. Okay, so how do you go about turning this off? If we jump over to Ads Manager, I've created an example campaign. And if you go to the ad level, underneath ad setup, you can see that we've got multi-advertiser ads selected there. Now, it is turned on by default, which is also a thing I'm not happy about. I don't like this feature and I don't want it to be turned on by default. I think that's not okay. And I've already had this popped up a few weeks ago. I've already had a few comments about that on my YouTube videos, people asking, should I be doing this, should I not? So I wanted to create a video talking all about it. Now, underneath this information here, we can see it says, if you have this selected, so you have it turned on, it says help people discover your products when they show commercial intent and are in a shopping mindset. Facebook advertisers speak, really, that, isn't it? But this is the important part. Your ads may appear alongside ads from multiple businesses in Instagram feed. Now, I would definitely recommend you turn this off because of all the things that we've discussed. Does that mean that your ads are not ever going to be included in the multi-advertiser format? I'm not so sure. We haven't really been able to work this out yet. So what do I mean by that is, I think by turning this off, you are guaranteed to not appear in these lower down spaces. So these sort of the ads alongside the main ad. But even if you have this turned off, I think you are still going to see, if your ad is up here as the main ad, other potential ads beneath you. Maybe not. Maybe turning that off means you're not going to see it at all. We're trying to work this out, but it's pretty tricky because not a lot of these are actually popping up when we see them. If you spend some time on Instagram, you don't see these pop up a huge amount yet, but they're very new. I think that's going to come in more and more and more. So either way, I would recommend deselecting multi-advertiser ads, because that's going to take you out of what I would call the low quality impression spaces, which is what I feel most of these down here are going to be. Does it take you out of this spot as well so that you won't have other ads underneath yours? We'll have to wait and see. I'll keep you updated on that stuff if you are. There may be very specific scenarios in which this is a good thing for you and you want to leave this on. And I think those would be if you massively beat your competition on price. You sell products that are extremely price competitive, you know that's a major selling point, and you can really go ahead and highlight that, then maybe having your ad pop up down here where it's going to grab people's attention if they've been looking at products in that industry that are related, they have shopping intent, however Facebook monitors that it might be advantageous, and then you might want to test including it. I'm a bit nervous about it, but test including it. That's the only use case where I can be like, yeah, go for it. Otherwise, I don't think you're getting high quality impressions. And if you don't get high quality impressions, we know those people are very unlikely to go through and convert, and you're likely to waste your budget. So I think for most people, absolutely go ahead and turn this off. And you do this at the ad level, and it is turned on by default. So go through and turn them off. When you're creating new campaigns, watch out for this. It'll be turned on by default. As I said, not something I'm super happy about. And Meta have been releasing tons of new updates recently, so if you haven't already, make sure you go ahead and subscribe. I can keep you up to date with all the new stuff that gets added, some of it good, some of it like this, not so good. If Facebook ads are important to your business, it's really important that you stay on top of this stuff. So as I said, make sure you go ahead and subscribe, and make sure you watch my videos when they come out. I'll keep you updated on all this sort of stuff. In fact, that leads me on to my next point, which is there's another Facebook ads feature that I strongly recommend you turn off. It's pretty new. You may not have seen it, but it may be worsening your results. I talk all about that in this video here. I strongly recommend you go through, check it out. It shows you what it is, how to turn it off. You might just save yourself some money by doing so. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye for now.